Hi, Robert Chuckrow here. I'm going to show you some pieces of glass tubing that I bent at 90 degrees using a gas flame. One of them I bent incorrectly on purpose. The other one I bent correctly, or more correctly. And I'm going to make an analogy between these two ways of bending the glass and their results and the way people bend their elbows when they do Tai-Chi. Here are some pieces of glass tubing. This is a Pyrex glass. This is a straight piece like the one I started with, and then I had pieces that I bent. This is one way that I bent it, and this of course is not correct. If you know anything about glass blowing, you know it's definitely not correct because it has a crimp in it and too sharp an angle. And this is the next one that I made more correctly. And the way I did the first one is I held it over a flame. The flame was coming up this way. The flame I used was oxygen and methane, which is stove gas. And that is the right temperature for melting and softening Pyrex glass. For quartz glass, you need a much hotter flame. You need hydrogen and oxygen. Anyway, what I did was I held the straight piece over the flame, and when it got hot, of course the bottom part of it was hotter than the top, I bent it inward to 90 degrees. The result was that the part that was the softest got compressed in, and the part that was not as soft just got stretched a tiny amount. And so you get this right angle, severe right angle turn with this bunched up piece of glass in here. The next one I did more correctly, and I held it not this way over the flame, but this way. So the part that was the convex part was heated more. And then as I bent it up, I think what I did is I may have put a cork stopper in this end and a piece of plastic tubing, which the other end went into my mouth so I could exhale a little bit and expand the glass. So I held it this way and bent it up. It was straight, bent it up. And the softest part, where the part closer to the flame, expanded, and the other part expanded a little bit also. I sort of pulled it a little bit as I did this. This is the standard way that you would do it. Maybe a glass blower would have a more gradual turn. But I did this just to show the two ways. And the idea being that there's a connection between these two ways of blowing glass and these two ways of using your elbows, and mostly elbows when you do Tai-Chi. And I'll show you that next. Here is the analogy that I want to make. And let's take the move roll back and press as an example. So the way I see people who do the Cheng Man-ch'ing style, which is my style, do this move. They sit back, turn, the arm comes down, and now watch what's happening to the upper arm. Nothing. The forearm comes up, and there's this bend in the elbow, and it comes over and it touches. So it's this. Instead, I prefer the following. Watch. This whole arm, the elbow is barely bending. The whole arm is coming up. And there's this rounded shape, the Jade Belt shape. And then it goes to here. Again. A little different. Thank you.